Hey guys, what's up? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? And what I have today in this video is I want to talk about iOS and Android. Now, this isn't any versus talk or anything. I'm just talking about how these two operating systems are integrating into people's lives and how it's really taking up a lot of competition. Speaking of competition, pretty much what most people are focusing on is between iOS and Android. As far as Microsoft and Blackberry is concerned, they haven't even meet our par with iOS and Android. So technically, iOS and Android are the ones that are taking the competition away from others, and it's just being focused on each other. This was an interesting article that I read on technobuffalo.com, which link will be in the description below. And what was interesting was that Apple compared their iOS sales back in 2013, they actually dropped a little bit. And then, of course, if you're comparing that to Android, Android actually improved a little. Like, they've gone higher. And as far as Microsoft is concerned, they're very low, but not as low as Blackberry. They did state specific numbers in the article, which you'll find out once you read it. And I thought that this was pretty interesting because here we have Apple doing their thing, trying to announce new products, new features, whatever. Same thing with Google, same thing with Microsoft, same thing with RIM, but most of the focus is still being targeted towards Android or iOS. And as far as Microsoft and Blackberry is concerned, I believe their marketing skills is probably not getting enough people to take a look at their products. And plus, just like Apple, for example, one of their main products that gets people to remember their company and remember their operating system would be the iPhone, because the iPhone was a big hit when it was first announced, and now it changed the world pretty much in terms of the technology industry. Now we have competitors out there like Android, Microsoft, and Blackberry right now, and they pretty much just brought up or created a lot of competition to compete with iOS. And Android, while Android is open to multiple manufacturers out there, such as Samsung, Motorola, HTC, whatever the case may be, Android is getting hyped up right now because one of the most common products that people are looking into would be Samsung. At least that's how I feel, because every time when I talk to somebody who has an iPhone and they want to switch to Android, they'll either say Galaxy S5, or actually pretty much every person I'm speaking to so far would rather have a Galaxy S5. And I'm like, what about the Note 4? They say, no, the Note 4 was a little bit too big for me. The S5 is already big enough. And the iPhone that I have right now is smaller, and I'm ready for a bigger one, but I don't need to go that drastic. And there was another person that I've talked to and asked me, what do I recommend? They say, it really depends on you. What I would do would probably be get the Note 4, because I prefer the extra screen real estate. That way I have a lot in the space for when I'm viewing the screen. And he get the Note 4 because of my recommendation, and it worked fine for him. And then a few months later I found out that he much rather have a smaller phone. So really, most of the time when I hear people talk about Android, they're mainly referring to the Samsung Galaxy S5. Another phone that I have heard of that's no one would, that person would not be interested in the S5, I guess, would be the LG G3. That's what they have. So that's how Android is getting caught up, because they have common devices that people are aware of and what manufacturer they're made from. Doesn't matter if they remember Motorola or HTC or not. The thing is, whichever device the consumer remembers and remember what operating system is running on it, that's what helped Androids, in my opinion. Which is good for Samsung and, well, whichever company that most people are familiar with, but it's bad for the ones that aren't really familiar with. You guys understand my point. And I guess I can see how, after speaking of all this, why iOS and Android is taking up most of the competition. And this should ring a bell to Microsoft, and especially RIM. What do they have to do in order to get users to take a look into their products? And then hopefully purchasing them. Because this growth, you're trying to go from here to here, is not going to be quick just like that. I mean, even Apple, it took them a long time to get the iPhone hyped up, and now, how many iPhones have they sold since 2007? Probably trillions. And maybe more than that. I don't know the exact number, but they are growing, and they will continue to grow, even if they happen to struggle a little bit here and there like they are right now, kind of. They're still going to be fine in my opinion, and Android is catching up right there. Or, should I say, already surpassed them somehow. The numbers just keep changing, guys, and maybe the competition eventually will change once Microsoft and RIM step their games up. Alright, what do you guys think about this? Leave a comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.